Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. How you doing? This is Psychic Mike back with another vlog live from Los Angeles. I'm on top of the Culver City stairs looking over the city. This is being shot a few days after the Lakers have won the NBA championship. Parade to come. Anyway, on this episode, we're going to be talking about dead people and how the spirit world connects to you. And that's kind of how I got my start in psychic readings. And also we're going to cover the return of your ex. All the ex-boyfriends and girlfriends are back, but let's see if they're going to stay this time. All right, and now we'll cut to me. Yes, good afternoon. Psychic Mike coming to you once again with another vlog. Hope everybody is well. It's October 13th, I believe. I did shoot a little bit of footage outside about an hour ago, which is great. You saw that at the top of the show. All right, so what I want to talk about now is how I started to go public with these readings and what was it that kind of triggered me. What it was about 15 years ago. There was this famous gangster out here in LA. His name was Tookie. And Tookie had been on death row for a long time. So it came a time when Tookie was gonna die. But there was this big movement, like, save Tookie. Tookie had reformed. They didn't want to see Tookie die. Snoop Dogg was out there. They would walk through these walks for him and everything. So there was a lot of energy around this guy. Was he gonna die? Was he not gonna die? So I was doing the tarot cards back then, with just a couple of close friends. And I decided to look into it. I had never really dealt with, did it on like a public figure or locked into a public figure. So I was asking the question, is Tookie gonna die in the morning, right? And so the card I ended up drawing, it is Tookie, he was the king of wands. The card I ended up drawing was the death card, right? And so it was such a strong response that it was just like, whoa, it was kind of surprising. So then that night I go to sleep, right? And about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, I jumped up out of the bed like, you know what I mean? Like, and I was up. It was like this tremendous surge of energy. And, I settled down and everything, but I couldn't really go back to sleep. I was like wide awake, And then later on that day, I found out that Tookie had passed away, that he was gone. You know what I mean? And so for that few seconds, it was like, that might have been the moment of his departure. But just by looking into him, a random public figure, so to speak, I was able to lock into him and feel that energy, which was kind of alarming. And then that night, I went to sleep and I started having these dreams, these images. It wasn't like bars or like a jail, but it was more like concrete enclaves. And there were a lot of guys in there, big guys, like a football team, and everybody's jostling and everything. So it was kind of a specific but weird dream, It was almost like it wasn't a dream, like you were kind of watching a show. So I was worried because I was like, oh God, I've opened up some sort of portal. And now, this guy's life is going to start coming to me, But that was the only night that it happened. But it kind of really reinforced that, okay, I have an ability here to really dial into somebody. Okay, so I've read with people about deceased loved ones before. I had a client of mine, a woman, and she had lost her son. Her son was in an accident out in public. And she was compensated, millions of dollars she got because of this. But it was a devastating thing. So she was calling me and we were looking at her son. So the first time it happened, she gave me her kid's name, and like the cards really come into play when you're dealing with people who have passed away, because they're not speaking like languages to you. It's more about the energy and the vibration. And so the cards really start to reflect. It's like they communicate through me, through the cards. So it's them, the cards, and then me. So now I become more of an interpreter of what I'm receiving, as opposed to someone who's generating the images, you know. So anyway, I tell her, the kid was like 12 years old. I said, listen, the kid says that you're still putting the bread on top of the refrigerator and he can't reach it, you know. And it's like, when I told her that, I don't know where that came from, but when I told her that, she freaked out. She started crying, you know, and because that had actually happened, you know, with her and her son, you know. So I spoke to this woman for maybe 9 or 10 months. And then she passed away, you know. She passed away. And I remember I did the cards and I was like, I wonder how she's doing. You know, I wonder what's going on. And sure enough, it was like she felt a sense of balance. She was definitely on the other side. She saw her son, but he wasn't what she thought he was going to be. You know what I mean? She thought that she was going to be there and he was going to look the same and he was being the same physical form, but he really wasn't. They're more like energy. They're more like pieces of like plasma, like sun plasma. You know how you hear about people who are about to die and they see this bright light? What that really is their consciousness returning to the source, which is the sun. So as you leave the body and return to the source, it gets brighter because you're returning to the sun. And that's what I started to realize, you know. And so these angels or these people that have passed away, they appear more in energy form, like bright orange plasma. Kind of think of it like that. And they vibrate, you know, sounds, but just really an intensity of light and then a low intensity. So, you know, they'll harp on specific things: money, love, loved ones, fighting over wills. Several people that I've talked to died nefariously, meaning that they were killed, you know. So there's a lot of information that you can get from deceased ones if you really practice and if you really understand what's going on, and then you learn to interpret the information that you're receiving. All right, so that's something I do. Mike the Psychic 9 at gmail.com. That's my email address, as you know. So if you want a reading or if you want to contact a loved one who's passed away, you can always hit me up. Okay, so now I want to talk about your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend who is back. Okay, all the exes are coming back in the fall. What we're seeing now is a shift. A lot of these darker energies were in retreat, and they were causing people to like ball up and just kind of hide from people. You know, people were getting ghosted, you know, left and right. Where is he? It was going so well, you know. So now guys are coming back. I did a lot of readings this week. You know, Anthony called me, you know, and he wants to meet up. I haven't seen Anthony since June, you know, this kind of thing. What does this guy want? And so, you know, what's going on is that men in particular are gaining more confidence in how they think their lives are going to go, as far as money, where they're going to live, their career opportunities, things like that. So they're on stronger footing. So now they're coming with a little more gusto, a little more bravado. Hey baby, you know, where are you? Where you been? Let's get together. This kind of thing. And the women are always open to hearing about men and, you know, what they are proposing as far as relationship. You understand? So the guys have got to come strong. So guys are coming back. Now here's the thing. Even though they're coming back, I want you to be cautious, because they're not necessarily back for good, and they're not going to throw themselves at you, okay? So guys are coming back now, but it's going to take, this is October, it's going to take until at least early December for them to really finalize what they want with you. And I keep saying guys, but this could go for women as well. We still have a few more parts of the universe that are going to go direct, and when that happens, then you'll see reuniting and relationships being restored, things like that. All right, so listen, thanks everybody. Next week we're gonna have, or the next time I post, I'm gonna have a guest. We're gonna do some readings live, things like that. All right, you guys have a good afternoon. Bye bye.